Sarah. It's so nice to see you. So how have things been this week?
They've been okay, I guess.
You sound unsure.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Philip had another big fight and work. I've been working really late, so it's just kind of been tiresome. Like I'm really feeling kind of too just like blah to even be here. But I mean, I don't know.
So you mentioned earlier that you had some more fights this week with Philip.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate on like what the situation was? What happened?
I don't know that I remember all the specifics. I remember like I think, you know, like I talk a lot about like, well, maybe I should apply for other jobs or like look at this and like sometimes I just want to like talk out loud about things and like it not be fixed or me not be like, well, that's really stupid. You have your job pays a lot of money or like I don't like that's not the most important thing to me. And I felt like it just was like everything I said he had an argument for, and I really just wanted, I guess, to vent about it. Well, like he just wasn't listening to me. Like, I just wanted to complain because I was tired and it's been a long week and whatever. So it just, like, turned into this big whole thing, and then it turned into well, you don't have time anymore for this, and you never come here, and you never, like, he kept saying, like, you never make time for me, and then just, like, stupid things come up, like, stupid little things, like, well, you, like, don't pay, you always watch TV when I'm, like, just the stupid stuff, and it just kind of,
So how did all of that make you feel?
I mean, now? Or, like, during the fight?
During the fight.
I don't know, I felt like unheard maybe and like I don't know, unvalued. Like especially if it was like kind of critiques of like, oh, you don't pay attention to me like when we even spend time together because then that like what? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't know. Like I guess I heard unvalued. Like no, that's not the right word. Like, if I'm with you, like, we can sit and spend time together and watch TV. Like, I don't understand what he wants from me. So I just felt, like, unheard. Like, I felt unheard, and that made me feel crappy.
So what do you feel like that means about your relationship as a whole, currently?
I think, right now it means that, like, I'm going to have to be better at communicating my stress to him. Or, like, better at like setting my expectations for the conversation maybe or maybe it means I don't vent to him but like maybe like I think that there are gonna have to be some improvements because we can't keep fighting like that so that like I want to be valued in my relationship and I want to be heard even if I'm just complaining like I don't want to be belittled for complaining.
Do you feel like you can express that to him?
I think so, yeah, I think so. I think that could be helpful.
Well, what are some things that you would like to discuss? You know, I know we've talked about, or you mentioned that you're really stressed, you're working late. What are some things that we might not have talked about last week that you'd really like to touch on?
I mean, I think we kind of talked about work. I know we talked a lot about, like, me, like, not really making some of the best decisions and, like, drinking and getting pulled over that one time. But not getting. So we talked a lot about that last time, which I think we needed to talk about. But maybe a little bit more about like how to handle like the balance between like being really stressed at work and working late, and then like feeling like I'm fighting all the time with Philip, and like it's just like then I'm stressed at work the next day because I've been up late fighting, and it just goes back and forth. So maybe a little bit more about how, because clearly drinking is not really the best answer, I guess. So I guess finding some other things to do to deal with those things.
Okay. So, last week, like you mentioned, we talked about your drinking. How do you feel that's been? Has it changed any? Do you feel like...
I mean, I haven't been, if I'm gonna, like, if I go somewhere, like, with my friends and drink, I just ask someone to drive me, so I've at least done that, but I don't know, I haven't really kept up with exactly, like, how much I have drank. I mean, I went out with some friends, like, Friday and Saturday, so I don't really know.
So, do you feel like if we tried to keep track of it, that way you could see physically the...
Probably, because I'd be afraid to do that.
Okay,
I mean, like, I think it would be really eye-opening.
Yeah. So what's so scary about that?
I guess to really kind of acknowledge that it's the bigger problem that I'm thinking it is.
Okay. So the reality of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a little bit, you know, like, my parents don't drink. They really don't approve of it. And we kind of talked about, like, my, like, family's history with drinking. So it's just, I guess I'm a little bit like ashamed, and the more I hide it, the better it feels.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe trying to keep track of it somehow might be good, or might even make me, oh, I'm not going to go drink today after work. I'm going to go do something else. So I'm not going to buy a bottle of wine on my way home.
Right. So when did you notice that this drinking and just the stress, the fighting, when did that kind of escalate and get worse for you?
Well, I mean, Philip and I have kind of been on and off for a long time. So I guess it's kind of been since we've really been trying to like, oh, we're a couple now. Like for a while it was good because we took a couple of trips and did that, and like the holidays hit, and then it's just kind of been stressful, and then it's a busy season at work. So maybe since like right after Christmas, I guess. I mean, again, with the drinking, I don't know, because like drinking is something like I've always done, like in college, and like gone out and not like party, but that's what you do. You go out and have drinks with your friends. So I don't know that I really know when that started being a problem, but I think that work and fighting all the time with Philip has been more since like Christmas time.
When was a time when you really felt like you dealt with the stress of your job or the fighting? You guys weren't fighting as much in your relationship. Either one of those. When was that?
I mean, I guess. Well, I think it's hard because like we're like in the busy like we're in a busy season, and we're really having to do a lot more work. So like my hours have changed, so maybe I don't have time to do as much, and like maybe when I wasn't as stressed about work, even though I think a lot of that has to do with like I'm working till like 9 and 10 o'clock for these events, like I had time to go home and do my routine. So like I had time to like stop by the grocery store on my way home, so I could actually cook dinner, and I could like go to the gym or go on a walk, and it didn't feel like I didn't have time to fit anything else in other than, okay, I'm coming home and it's 10:30 and Philip wants me to go to his house, and I haven't been home to even like feed my dog. So I guess maybe when I had more of a personal routine, maybe a little bit more time for me, that work didn't feel so stressful.
Okay. So you mentioned the good things that have helped you, having a routine.
Right.
So you feel like you could. Is that part of what you guys fight about? Your routine, when you try to have a routine and you...
Yeah, a little bit, because like he wants me to go to his house or see him or have time for him, and like some days I don't feel like I even have time for myself. Or like if I just want to, I think that's part of it, because I think if I can go to the gym like right after work, or I have time to like come home and like take a really quick nap and then go on a run or something, and then I go see him or I talk to him, like it's not like I'm just like, work sucks, I hate my job, blah, 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 blah. Versus if I'm leaving at 9 o'clock at night, I might call him, hey, I'm going home now, I'm really tired. And then it turns into this, oh, I'm so irritated. And then I kind of feel like he like criticizes me for being irritated. And then like he wants me to come see him and I'm tired. So it just kind of turns into like that, I guess. So maybe part of it is that, but I don't know. Part of it is me just being tired too.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about journaling and keeping track of your drinking.
Right.
Do you feel like that's something that you are willing to do?
I don't know about journaling. I think, like, especially right now with, like, my schedule, like, sometimes I don't even, like, look at the news. So, but I think I do need to track drinking.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know how to best do that right now.
So, maybe keeping a simple log.
Yeah.
With, like, maybe tally mark on each day.
Yeah, like maybe on my planner or something.
Yeah. But what's something that you could do that would kind of help you to de-stress that's just for you, to kind of take care of yourself?
Yeah.
That you could do?
Well, I guess it depends on like the day, how much time I have. I guess if it's like a busy day and it's like not, like I would like to say go to the gym or like do a workout at home. But like sometimes like if I get home and my roommate's asleep, like I don't want to wake her up. So maybe on a day like that, like maybe I like taking baths. I usually drink a glass of wine in the bath, but maybe I could just try the bath.
Okay, yeah, just try the bath without the wine. That's a good start.
For now, until I get that under control.
Yeah.
So maybe that, because
Okay,
then that's like 15 minutes for me, and then maybe if I do get home at like 8, I could try the gym.
Yeah.
Since it's still open. I mean, I think that would help. I think it's just making sure I'm finding the time. And so
Finding
it's
the
probably
time
good
for
coming to
yourself
see you every now and then, so you're asking me about it. Because, like,
Yes.
Philip isn't going to ask me about that.
So we've talked a little bit about your coping skills.
Mhm.
Some of them in the past have not been the best.
Right.
Drinking. Kind of you're not taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
So some of the things I'd like you to work on are some good coping skills, some healthy things.
Mhm.
Like you said, taking a bath without the wine. Just 15 minutes to yourself every night. Even if you can't even take a bath, maybe like watch a TV show or something like that. Go to the gym. And then I would also like for you to, in your planner, just either tally marks how many drinks you've had, and kind of keep up with that. And then when you come back and see me next week, we can kind of look at that and see if you feel like you've decreased any, or and kind of maybe make a rough estimate of what you think you would normally drink in a week, and then we can see the difference in that when you come back.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Are there any things that you guys do together that would be considered a coping skill?
I mean, yeah, like we play with the dog, like that's a lot of fun. Or like if we take the dog on a walk, like I enjoy that if the weather's nice, and that always just feels like a nice day. So I'd like to do that more with him.
So maybe adding on to our homework, if you all picked an outing or picked a nice, pretty day to take the dogs for a walk, or just do something together that's healthy and makes you both happy.
Yeah, I think that could work.
So, do you have anything else you'd like to touch on before we wrap up?
No, I think that's a really good start to kind of help me. Like last week was more kind of like, let me spill everything out, and I needed to just get it off my chest. And so this week is more like, okay, like I need to make a plan on how to move forward and kind of see how those things work, and especially to see if like hopefully if I take care of myself, like we won't be fighting as much, and then I won't be complaining about that as much in sessions. So I think that's good for now. I can start there.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad I got to meet with you again. And how about the same time next week?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.